The bad news train keeps on a-chugging, baby. A-chew, a-chew. You know it, you love it. We've got some more companies trying to put you over a barrel again today. And I have to say, the people that are criticizing me saying, hey, you're an old man with gray in your beard yelling about video games. Well, apparently 80,000 of you like an old man with gray in his beard yelling about video games. And I just want to say thank you guys so very much. It means the world to me. I would have never expected this channel to get this far, and honestly, this train isn't stopping anytime soon, because apparently there have been more things coming around with the Nintendo Switch 2, and even other companies as well starting to follow suit. Remember how a few days ago I said, hey, don't think this is just Nintendo. Other companies are going to do the exact same thing, and in fact, they are. PlayStation, our boys, are going around and doing exactly what I expected them to do, and they're raising prices of their PSN online service in specific countries. Ooh. According to Push Square, a PS Plus price increase has been confirmed for 15 countries by Sony specifically. Now, this price hike is going to go into effect April 16th of this year, and it's going to affect 15 Latin American countries, Sony announced today. The countries are as follows: Argentina, Bolivia, Chile, Colombia, Costa Rica, Ecuador, El Salvador, Guatemala, Honduras, Mexico, Nicaragua, Panama, Paraguay, Peru, and Uruguay. Yes, I am Hispanic. Yes, I can do it, baby. Let me tell you. Papi knows how to work the double R, the double L. But the thing is, here is where the prices are going to be impacted directly. You see, because Sony's excuse, again, is with global market conditions. By increasing the price, they're saying that they can continue to offer high-quality games and value-added benefits for your PlayStation Plus subscription. Oh, high-quality games and value-added benefits? Boy, I can't wait, because PS Plus Essential for 1 month is $8, for 3 months is $21, for 12 months is $65. For the PS Plus Extra, it's $12 per month, $34 for 3 months, and $108 for 12 months. For the PS Plus Deluxe, you know, the thing where you can play demos of games for a few hours and then get some really old PS1 and PS2 games? Yeah, $14 a month for 1 month directly, $40 for 3 months, and $125 for the year. You know what would have solved this problem, PlayStation? If you would have just put backwards compatibility in the actual system, there wouldn't be an issue with this directly. I would have been able to get to play all my old PS1 and PS2 games. I don't even care about PS3. That console still works for me on that PS5. And I wouldn't have to worry about the day where my PlayStation 2 begins to break its capacitors and have to find a new board on eBay, buying it from some sweaty guy who smoked in his house for 45 years. Yeah. Definitely not a fun time at all to do that. So get in line, boys and girls, because the price hikes are going to be continuing, and it's going to be even getting quite a bit worse because Nintendo is on a warpath. You see, remember that little camera that we saw during the Nintendo Direct about the Switch 2, showing that, hey, you can go ahead and film yourself with basically what we would call just the Nintendo version of Discord, you know, the one without all the PDF files attached to it, even though it's going to be, I got a bad feeling about this whole service, by the way. But we saw a couple of things happen directly. Number one, when they showed the actual game share screen scenario, things looked kind of choppy. In fact, the frame rate was so bad, I was starting to think to myself, this can't be real. You see, it wasn't just me who thought that, because apparently it was asked by other people interviewing Nintendo directly. And when you hear the reason why, boy. According to an article by VGC, Nintendo has been explaining why the Switch 2 Game Chat screen sharing function has a low frame rate. They did it on purpose. Yeah, no. They purposely lowered the frame rate of the screen sharing function, the thing that Discord does already. They made it worse, and you got to pay for it. In an interview with GameSpot, Nintendo Switch 2 hardware editor Takuhiro Dota explained the reason the game chat screen sharing runs at a low resolution is to ensure it doesn't take up too much of the console's resources, which could affect gameplay. Obviously, chat is meant to run and work simultaneously and coincide with the game you're playing, Dota explained. But we also think it's critical that it doesn't get in the way of the game that's running right now. And so we wanted to definitely make sure what we do was to make sure that running the game chat alongside the game doesn't result in the game experience or quality being reduced in any way. How about this, guys? How about this? Instead of doing all of that, you could have just put the Discord app into the Nintendo Switch 2, because that basically runs on everything nowadays already and lets you screen share and lets you chat and is the exact same functionality and provides the exact same thing. Wait, hold on. It blacks out the background. It lets you have video chat. It even has the same green bars over your boxes, and it even provides you a screen so you can share your gameplay. It's almost like Nintendo just flat out copied Discord, put their logo on top of it, and decided to sell it to people. I mean, I would just be as litigious as they were if you think about it from that perspective. Nintendo's been going around suing everybody about Pal World. I'm sure Discord can muscle up a few dollars to sue back Nintendo for stealing their entire idea and process during the way to share gameplay. That'd be kind of funny, actually. Would be their just desserts. But you see, it isn't just the fact that the resolution is incredibly low, that the frame rate is incredibly bad. The big problem with all of this is that on the Joy-Con directly, you have to pay to literally use the C button. No, I'm not kidding. So in an article via Polygon, they wrote this. So what happens if you aren't a subscriber and press the C button? Not much, Vice President of Player and Product Experience Bill Trinan told Polygon in a recent interview. You would be able to find out about the NSO subscriptions there and get a sense of some of the functionality, he said. They're locking game chat behind a paywall in 2025 by putting a physical button on the controller and then saying, hey, we're just ripping off Discord like we showed you guys before with a worse resolution, worse frame rate. You have to buy a separate camera, and now you got to pay for the online service to do it, even though Discord can do it for free and you already pay for your own internet. I mean, come on. Can it get worse? Absolutely. You see, because now they are licensing out the camera for the Nintendo Switch 2. The original camera is going to be $50, but they're making a pretty funny one, a little piranha plant one that opens and closes its mouth when you want to have it active or not. Hey, seems pretty kind of cool to me, right? So that camera is not $50. It's actually $44. Yeah, it's $6 cheaper. Why would a camera that's the same thing be $6 cheaper? Oh, do you want to know the reason? That's because the Piranha Plant camera is 480p. No, I'm not kidding. You're spending less money, about $6 less, to get a camera in 480p. Imagine spending $44 for a Piranha Plant camera, which is worse than what you had back in 2001. And you want to know the real insane part about it? The $50 camera, the regular black one that just has the lens on it, that one's 1080p. So for $6 more, you're going from 480p to 1080p, but because they want to put the Piranha Plant on there, they'll charge you less, and the camera's Why wouldn't you just do both at 1080p? And then just charge $10 more. What is wrong with this company? Why are they completely across every sense of the word? They own the license to Mario. They own the Piranha Plant entire thing. There's no reason that this would be an issue for them to put the Piranha Plant out at a 1080p camera. But they're going to license it out to somebody else who's going to make a worse camera, and you're going to buy it because the mouth open and closes, and then you're going to be sitting there while everybody else is on 1080p on their camera, and you're at 480p because nobody can see your face, which you got to pay for Nintendo Switch Online to go ahead and use the camera in the first place. So it couldn't get worse, right? Oh boy. You see, because besides the camera being 480p, besides having a button on your controller that takes you to the actual shop to buy the online service, even though you already pay for the internet, on top of games being $80, and on top of everything else that's been happening with the Nintendo Switch 2, it turns out that the Nintendo GameCube controller is not compatible with Switch 2 games, just the GameCube classics. They're gonna sell you a controller. They're gonna sell you a controller that can only be used when you have the online service that you have to pay for to then play the games from that online service in an app that is a controller dedicated simply just for that one app. They are the new Apple. They are the new Apple of video games. They're literally selling you products for dedicated apps on your device after selling you an overpriced device, and on top of that, selling you overpriced games. How anyone can sit here with a straight face and make a comment on my previous video saying the Nintendo Switch 2 is not a scam? Look in the fucking mirror, boy. And the crazy part about this is I just checked the video on YouTube. It doesn't come with the regular Nintendo Switch Online. It's actually part of the expansion pass, the more expensive part of the Nintendo Switch Online service that you have to pay for. So you got to pay for NSO, then pay for the expansion pass, then pay for the controller to go with the GameCube games on the expansion pass of the online service that you already pay for because you already pay for the internet already. So they're making you pay for your own money twice. You then have to go ahead and you can only use that one controller on that one specified app. You cannot use it anywhere else, even though it literally has the same button configurations, the same dual joystick setup, and it just, oh boy, I just can't. It's wild to me how anybody who calls himself a Nintendo fan is defending this console in any shape and form. You guys have literally sitting there with nostalgia goggles on and ignoring every other piece of criticism being levied at this fucking company, all because they're coming out finally after 8 years with another console. It's one thing to be happy about nostalgia and going back to your childhood when we don't have to worry about the stock market or 401ks or anything else like that. I have my midlife crisis right now too. I'm buying old PS1 and PS2 games. But I can sit here and I can criticize PlayStation for being money hungry and greedy, like raising the prices on 15 Latin American countries. And I can sit here criticize Nintendo for being money hungry and greedy by raising the price of video games to $80. How anyone who's a Nintendo fan is defending this, you should be ashamed of yourselves in every single way. It's been so bad of people defending Nintendo, they are now emailing customer support to try and get more information to disprove misinformation on other people in terms of the internet because they're criticizing Nintendo. They don't get a shield, bro. They don't get to be the only ones you can't criticize. If I can criticize Xbox and PlayStation and nobody bats an eye, that's perfectly fine. But I criticize Nintendo and the same person who was a big fan of my channel, all of a sudden, nope, can't listen to this guy. He's just a fearmongerer. Yeah, look. If you haven't figured out that by now that I'm not for any company, I'm for you, the consumer, I don't know what else it's going to take. And it's not just that, because the rumor going around now is that the Switch 2 version of Breath of the Wild 2 won't include the expansion pass content. Now, I don't know if this is true or not. This is originally posted on Nintendo Soup, and then Go Nintendo reported on it, so I have no idea if this is actually a fact or not. But apparently somebody at Nintendo Soup, again, emailed a help support person because they were like, I don't know about this. And this is, I don't know if it's going to come with the pack or not. I'm spending $80 fucking dollars. Am I going to get an actual complete product? And nobody knows. You know why nobody knows? Because Nintendo is the worst at communicating. They're probably worse than Xbox more than anything about communicating proper information to the player and consumer and customer. People, unfortunately, are so upset and so wound up about trying to defend this company simply because they like the characters in the games. Look, you can be a fan of the games, you can be a fan of the company, that's perfectly fine. But when you cross into fanboy territory and you're doing nothing but damage controlling for a company, as they are literally charging you more money for games when they shouldn't be charging charging you that, when they're going through and selling you products that are worse than the actual original product, which is just because it's got a little plastic case on it, when they're going around and they're saying, hey, we don't even know if the actual digital game carts will let you buy, sell, or even just download the game directly. Nobody knows what's in fact happening right now because there's no actual real communication. And emailing help support on Nintendo or anything else like that and flooding them isn't going to give you the right answer either, because those people don't even know what the hell's going on half the time. Let people criticize this company. I can criticize everybody else. That means I can criticize Nintendo. And the fact that people in their grown adult age are emailing econ professors, trying to have Nintendo coping sessions on podcasts, going around and saying, you're doing misinformation, hold your L, when they're literally happy about spending more money, and they don't realize the thing that I'm talking about is the fact that you're getting bent over a barrel and spending more money for less things simply because it has Mario on the box. These people are so worried about being right on the internet that they're not seeing the fact that they're getting put over and goatseed by this company simply because they hold keys to your nostalgia. Stop it. Grow a spine. I make fun of AMD. I make fun of Nvidia. I make fun of Intel, Xbox, PlayStation, Nintendo. Nobody is safe on this channel. The only person that is safe is you, the consumer, and the customer, because I've been there. I know what it's like, and I know what it feels like to get by a company. And the only thing I want to do is make people aware of what's going on and make sure that they don't fall into the same traps that I did. But I guess if you want to defend the company so bad, don't worry, I got plenty of content to make about you too. But with all that being said, let me know what you guys think about today's video. And if you liked it, thank you. And if you didn't like it, fuck you. If you want to see more of this kind of content, more PC port reviews, gaming news, Steam Deck videos, fanboy content, my hot takes in the gaming industry, and live streams every Saturday night, 8:45 p.m. Eastern, subscribe to the channel. We've just broken 80,000 subscribers, and I just want to say thank you guys so very much. If you want to have Discord access or emotes during live streams, become a YouTube member. It's as low as $1. If you don't want to spend the buck, don't sweat it. Install the Better TTV Emotes extension. You get free emotes, and the community is incredibly generous, and they gift memberships all the time. Once you're in the Discord, you're in there for life, unless you up and I ban you, so don't do that. With all that being said, though, thank you guys so much for watching. Hope you have a great one, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace!